Hello, what's the secret for today? Archaeologists have unearthed mysterious objects, like an ancient seismograph from China built 1,800 years ago, or the unsolved Voynich manuscript. Let's explore 10 discoveries that leave scientists with more questions than answers. The Voynich manuscript is one of the most perplexing enigmas in the world of historical discovery. While many modern researchers have dismissed it as an elaborate hoax, a growing group of scholars argues otherwise. They believe it's a legitimate medieval document that simply hasn't been deciphered yet. The manuscript first came to light in the year 1912, when it was acquired by Polish book dealer Wilfrid Voynich at the Jesuit College of Villa Mondragone in Frascati, Italy. Since then, it has defied every attempt at translation. Its significance earned it a place at Yale University, where it now resides in the Voynich Rare Book and Manuscript Library. Interestingly, the book's origin prior to 1912 remains unknown. However, carbon dating tests performed on its vellum pages indicate that it was created sometime between the early 1400s and the mid-1430s. The manuscript spans 240 pages, filled with puzzling illustrations and an undeciphered script. While it appears to use a structured cipher, every known method of code breaking has failed. Without a clear understanding of the language, the meaning behind the text remains locked away. Even more bizarre, some pages depict unknown plants and herbs, while others show women dressed in what appears to be 15th century European clothing. There's no consistent theme or explanation. But what happens when something that looks like a code turns out to be something completely different? Let's head to the Jordanian desert to uncover another mysterious structure that has no clear purpose, despite its monumental size. A structure that continues to defy explanation in the Jordanian desert, Khatt Shebib. Though far less known than the Great Wall of China, its scale is undeniably vast and mysterious. This ancient wall runs for more than 90 miles, or approximately 150 kilometers, cutting a stark line across Jordan's rugged terrain. And yet, despite its immense length, archaeologists have found no clear evidence that it served a military, domestic, or agricultural role. There are no settlements, no inscriptions, and no tools associated with its construction. The wall might have remained entirely forgotten if not for a curious turn of events. In 1948, British diplomat Sir Alec Kirkbride spotted it from an airplane window while flying over Jordan. His report brought the structure to the attention of archaeologists, sparking decades of quiet curiosity. Since then, surveys have been conducted, but they've uncovered almost nothing: no artifacts, no written records, not even a reliable construction date. While some suggest a Nabatean-era origin, no definitive timeline has ever been confirmed. Next in our lineup of inexplicable archaeological breakthroughs is a device from nearly 2,000 years ago, crafted in ancient China during the Eastern Han Dynasty. In the year 132, the polymath Heng designed what many believe to be the world's first functional seismoscope, a machine capable of detecting distant earthquakes long before the tremors reached its location. From the outside, it resembled a bronze vessel, but inside was a finely tuned mechanism centered around a pendulum. Arranged around the body were 8 dragon heads, each pointing in a different direction. Beneath each dragon sat a bronze toad with its mouth open. When a distant earthquake occurred, the pendulum would shift slightly, activating one of the internal levers. That action would trigger a metal ball to fall from a dragon's mouth directly into the toad below, producing a loud clang and revealing the direction from which the seismic waves had traveled. Although it could not predict earthquakes, it was a remarkable leap forward in understanding seismic activity. In fact, no similar technology emerged anywhere else in the world for more than 15 centuries. Now travel to Scotland, where an ancient piece of rock art raises more questions than answers. Tucked into the landscape of West Dunbartonshire, Scotland, lies one of the most elaborate pieces of prehistoric rock art in all of Britain, the Cochno Stone. Despite its intricate carvings and cultural value, the stone's purpose remains completely unknown. Measuring around 9 meters in length, this vast sandstone slab is engraved with a complex array of cup and ring marks, spirals, radial lines, and geometric motifs at over 90 symbols in total. The carvings are laid out with remarkable precision, leading experts to speculate that they may have had astronomical, ritual, or territorial significance. But to this day, no definitive interpretation has been confirmed. The Cochno Stone was first formally recorded in 1887 by the Reverend James Harvey. Not long after its discovery, it became a local attraction. But over the decades, exposure to the elements, vandalism, and careless human traffic led to serious degradation of the carvings. By 1965, authorities decided to rebury the entire stone under a protective layer of soil to halt the damage. It remained hidden for half a century, until 2015, when archaeologists from the University of Glasgow undertook a careful, contemporary excavation to digitally record the entire surface. Yet even with modern imaging and analysis, the mystery remains. What did these carvings mean to the people who made them? No artifacts were found alongside the stone, and no nearby settlements appear to explain its purpose. Let's take a look at a curious electrical find that might just defy the laws of history itself. Before we continue, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, just press the notification bell and hit that subscribe button. It means the world. It really supports this channel. And if you do that for me, I promise my team and I will do everything we can to make this show even better for you. Deal? In 1998, a man named John J. Williams, who identified himself as an electrical engineer, claimed to have discovered a bizarre formation in a rural part of North America, though he never revealed the exact location. The artifact features a three-pronged metallic structure embedded in what appears to be a solid block of natural granite. Williams asserted that the stone was at least 100,000 years old, a claim that has not been verified by independent geological testing. Critics were quick to question the find, especially given Williams' technical background. Some suggested it might be a deliberate hoax. However, Williams countered by inviting scientists and experts to examine the artifact for themselves. Few accepted, and to date, no conclusive third-party evaluation has been published. What adds to the mystery is that the metallic component shows no signs of welding or artificial attachment. The stone seems to have formed around the prongs, a scenario considered geologically implausible if the rock's age is accurate. Even more puzzling, at the base of the prongs lies an unidentified material that is yet to be analyzed in any peer-reviewed study. Mainstream science remains firmly skeptical, citing the lack of verifiable evidence. But with no definitive proof of fabrication either, the Williams enigmalith remains a provocative enigma on the fringes of archaeology. Next, dive into the mysterious art in Sego Canyon and see what it tells us about the past. Deep in the rugged terrain of Sego Canyon, Utah, ancient rock walls display an enigmatic gallery of pictographs and petroglyphs, a multi-layered record of human expression spanning thousands of years. These fading figures and symbols, some of which resemble ghost-like beings, were created by a sequence of distinct cultures whose full stories are still unfolding. Archaeologists recognize three main traditions in the canyon. The oldest, known as the Barrier Canyon style, may date back as far as 9,000 years. These archaic period images depict elongated, hollow-eyed humanoid figures, often lacking limbs, rendered in red pigment, and thought to carry spiritual or ceremonial meaning. Next came the Fremont culture, active from around 300 to 1300 CE, whose art includes more structured human forms, animals, and abstract motifs. Their work reflects a mix of agricultural life and spiritual symbolism. The most recent art is attributed to the Ute people, who gave the state of Utah its name. Their carvings include horses and riders, indicating they were made after the year 1493, when Christopher Columbus reintroduced horses to the Americas during his second voyage. While the Ute figures are more representational and less stylized than their predecessors, the age and purpose of the earlier images remain a mystery. No one fully understands their meaning, but their survival across millennia speaks to something deeply important to those who created them. Just when you think you've heard it all, there's something buried beneath Texas that might just be the missing piece of this puzzle. Beneath the town of Rockwall, Texas, lies a mysterious underground formation that has sparked debate for over a century. Discovered in 1852 during a well excavation, the structure resembled a massive stone wall. Its precise lines and stacked appearance so striking that the town itself was named after it. In the early 1900s, renowned geologist Robert T. Hill examined a portion of the formation and concluded it was a natural sandstone feature, created by jointing and sedimentary processes. His findings were accepted for a time, but later discoveries complicated the picture. As more segments of the formation were uncovered, some appeared to show right angles, seams, and mortar-like features, details that many argued don't align with natural geology. While mainstream scientists maintain it's a product of nature, independent researchers continue to propose that it may have been shaped or constructed by a now-forgotten culture. What makes the mystery more compelling is the scale of the structure, with parts believed to extend for several miles beneath the town. Yet no full excavation has been conducted to confirm its extent or origin. Whether it's a natural oddity or a man-made marvel lost to history, the Rockwall Formation remains one of North America's most intriguing unexplained discoveries. If you walked over an ancient wall every day and never knew it, how would you feel? Let us know your theory in the comments. Could this be one of the oldest man-made structures in North America, or just a natural prank played by the Earth itself? Among the most puzzling artifacts in early American history is a 40-ton boulder known as Dighton Rock, discovered on the banks of the Taunton River in Berkeley, Massachusetts. The rock has been a source of intrigue since 1690, when Cotton Mather, a prominent Puritan minister, first documented its mysterious petroglyphs, a dense set of carvings whose origin remains unknown. Over the centuries, theories have proliferated. Some attribute the markings to Native American tribes such as the Wampanoag, while others propose they were left by Portuguese explorers, specifically Miguel Cort Real, who vanished in the early 16th century. Additional hypotheses involve Norse explorers, Chinese sailors, and even ancient Phoenicians, though the latter ideas fall outside mainstream scholarship. The Portuguese theory gained traction in the 19th century, but it remains unproven. Critics argue the inscriptions don't match known Portuguese symbols, and no associated artifacts have been found. To protect the rock, it was relocated from the riverbank to the Dighton Rock Museum, where it now resides in a climate-controlled environment. The carvings are still clearly visible, but their meaning remains as elusive as ever, continuing to fuel speculation about pre-Columbian contact and unexplained visitors to North America. The carvings on this boulder have baffled historians for over 300 years, so what about a long-lost Bronze Age civilization that vanished without a trace? The mystery of Sanxingdui may hold the answer. Roughly 3,000 years ago, an advanced Bronze Age culture in southwestern China, the Sanxingdui civilization, vanished without warning. Flourishing in the Sichuan Basin near modern-day Guang'an, this culture left behind no written records and no explanation for its sudden decline. But what they did leave is extraordinary: massive bronze masks, towering human-like sculptures, ivory relics, and finely crafted jades, all ritually buried. For years, scholars were baffled. But in recent decades, a new theory has emerged. Some experts now believe a powerful earthquake may have altered the course of the Minjiang River, cutting off water to Sanxingdui's urban center. With their water source gone, the population may have been forced to migrate elsewhere. This theory is supported by the stunning discovery in 1986 of 2 sacrificial pits at the Sanxingdui site, filled with artifacts that show no signs of practical use, while suggesting they were deliberately buried as part of a ritual. Some researchers believe it was a ceremonial closure of the civilization, an intentional act to leave the past behind. Others see it as evidence of a belief system we don't yet understand. And that brings us to a deeper question. When we find artifacts that seem too advanced or misplaced in time, we often call them out-of-place artifacts. But maybe it's not the object that doesn't belong. Maybe it's our timeline that's incomplete. Let's shift gears to the Middle East, where massive stone circles have been found scattered across the desert, their purpose still unknown. Next, we turn our attention to one of the most perplexing archaeological features in the Middle East. Enormous stone circles scattered across the deserts of Jordan and parts of southern Syria. These formations, often referred to as the Big Circles, continue to defy explanation. So far, at least a dozen large circles have been identified, each formed by low stone walls measuring about 1 meter in height and spanning up to 400 meters in diameter. While they may seem simple at first glance, their sheer scale and geometric precision are anything but. One particularly well-known example near Azraq, Jordan, is intersected by a Roman road, indicating that the structure was already in place before the Romans arrived, likely built more than 2,000 years ago, or even earlier during the Neolithic period. As for how these massive rings were made, one plausible theory is that ancient builders tethered a rope to a central stake and walked a wide arc to trace the outline, creating nearly perfect circles. In places where natural obstacles disrupted their movement, the outlines become irregular, supporting this hypothesis. But while we might understand how they were built, why they were built remains a total mystery. Archaeologists have found no artifacts, graves, or signs of habitation inside the circles. There are no inscriptions, no tools, and no apparent practical use. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen right now. I hope you'll love this content. Comment below about the next topic you'd like to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.